All right, there's a new company called Rivvr, Rivvr, that is going to bring wireless virtual reality to the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. Now, if you're living under a tech rock and you don't know what the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive is, they're those little head-mounted displays that allow you to play video games or in stereoscopic 3D or watch 3D movies and shit like that. They plug into your PC. Maybe if you don't know what those are, you would know what the Samsung Gear VR is or the PlayStation VR. Um, yeah. So here's the problem. The problem, in my opinion, is how they're implementing it. So basically, what they're doing is they're taking like a little box, and you're gonna plug all your cables into it, and it's gonna go on your head. And in that box is a transmitter for Wi-Fi. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna connect to your Wi-Fi router, and then your router is gonna pass the signal through to your PC and vice versa. So it's actually compressing the HDMI, the full HDMI signal from your PC down to, I believe they said it was something like a 40 megabit stream, and then they're passing that through the Wi-Fi to the device. So basically, the device and your PC are talking to each other through Wi-Fi. So great. So what's the problem with that? The problem with that is it's using Wi-Fi, in my opinion. So they say that they've gotten the latency down to about 13 milliseconds, according to them. Now, is that true? You can debate that. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. I think that some real testing needs to be done. This product is not available to the public as of yet, so of course, any word that comes from the manufacturer needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Um, so, how much lag is that? Just for reference, about one frame is about 17 milliseconds, assuming you're running at 60 frames per second. So the lag from this device is about one frame of lag. So another problem with this is that it's using Wi-Fi, which means that there's absolutely zero chance. And I know a lot of people don't use wireless G these days, but wireless G is 54 megabits per second theoretical, which is a huge problem because you're transmitting more over 40 megabits of data at once, which is just going to be impossible considering everything else that's working on your Wi-Fi at the same time. It's gonna drop frames like mad, and I imagine that even if you're running on 5 gigahertz wireless AC, that it's probably gonna drop frames like mad. I mean, here's just an anecdotal story. Yesterday, I was running. I was wondering why my stream kept dropping frames on Twitch. I was watching the OBS numbers. I was kind of doing a test stream, and I was dropping frames like mad, like literally like 20% of my frames. And then I looked at my laptop and I realized, oh shit, I'm on Wi-Fi. And I forgot to plug the fucking cable in. And as soon as I plugged the cable in, boom, absolutely no dropped frames for the rest of the broadcast. Seriously, zero. So, of course, Wi-Fi is a problem. Wi-Fi has inherent lag issues, the communication time between the device and Wi-Fi, but it actually has more problems than that. Even if it is using the 5 gigahertz band, assume that you're going to have, I don't know, in an average family, maybe like 10 other devices communicating with that router on the same frequency, which is a huge problem when you consider interference and things like that. Of course, there's also issues that the 5 gigahertz band drops off very quickly. So your signal strength, based on how far away you are from the router, drops off really quickly on the 5 gigahertz compared to the 2.4. And the fact that the 2.4 is probably not fast enough, although you could arguably maybe use wireless N, it's just going to be a huge issue. And actually, I don't know which wireless it uses. I don't know if it has a choice. I don't know if you can choose wireless AC or choose wireless N, but I would have to imagine that they would have had to consider that. And I would have to imagine that because you can't really control the device, I would have to imagine that it has a proprietary, like, hard-coded band that it uses, and I don't know which one that is. Um, what I don't understand why they didn't do. What they didn't do was, why didn't they use a proprietary receiver for this device? because like I said, all of the noise and the interference of every other device that's communicating through your router. And I mean, I'm a techie, so I mean, I've always got like big file transfers and uploads going through my router and shit like that, and shit gets congested in there, man. Why not use a proprietary device that plugs into your PC, for example? And I don't understand why they couldn't have made that work. To me, that seems like it would have been the correct way to go about it, but they didn't. They didn't do that. So, I mean, I don't want to be too skeptical. I am skeptical, but hopefully they will work something out, and hopefully it'll work out well. It'll work out well in practice. But of course, if you're a professional gamer or you're just a really hyper competitive reactive player, like an FPS player or even an RTS like StarCraft 2, yeah, this device is probably not going to be for you, because if you're dropping about 1 frame just because of latency, that's a big problem. So if you actually plug the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift or whatever the VR headset is that you're using, if you actually plug it right directly into your computer, the lag that you're going to get is in the microseconds as opposed to the milliseconds, which is a fraction of the lag that you're getting over the Wi-Fi. So if you're a competitive gamer, this is just not going to work for you. Most likely it's going to lag. It's going to be a big problem. So I wouldn't invest in this, or at least I would wait until we see some really solid user reviews on this product.